Bing, boing, bing. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip. Good morning, guys. This is Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip, and everybody does have a story to tell, but very few people take the time to listen until now. Guys, thank you so much for your love, your subscriptions to the channel. I so appreciate it, guys, so much so. I wanted to bring and talk about the life of Maddie Soto. Maddie Soto, who was only 4 days into her 13th year on this planet, and she was taken out apparently by her stepdad, or that's loosely put, could have been her lover, because we don't know. I think Maddie thought she was in love. Let me explain. Maddie Soto, again, was just 13 years old. But when she was 8, almost 9, her mom, Jen Soto, met her boyfriend-to-be, Stefan Stearns. Fast family, too fast. Stefan Stearns had been abusing Maddie since she was 8, 9 years old. You know how we know? All the videos, all the images that we have that proves it. Maddie Soto, 4 days after her 13th birthday, was found unalived. Stefan Stearns was facing the death penalty for her MURDER and a bunch of CSAM cases. Who was she? Who was Maddie Soto? At just 13 years old. Who was she? Did she know who she was? Or was she the type of child that knew exactly who she was? Did she think she was in love with Stefan? Because everybody in that house, I guess, normalized the fact that she should sleep in a bed with her mom's boyfriend, alone. Her mom, who's not in prison for anything, not a child endangerment, nothing, knew this was going on. I assume she knew it was going on simply because when the police started talking to her about it, she came up with this, I don't want to be left like Mia Farrow. I don't want the Woody Allen thing. Why would you bring that up if you didn't think your daughter was messing around with your boyfriend? You weren't having sex with your boyfriend. Your daughter was, and you knew it. And it was so normalized that Maddie was looking for a coin to have Stefan buy her. A coin that you'd flip up in the air. Because if you're a parent, I don't know if Maddie was pregnant or not, but it's about chores. It's like a game. Who does the next chore? You flip this coin up in the air, and it tells you who does the next chore. Why would Maddie ask Stefan Stearns to buy her one of those coins? Why wouldn't she be livid? Why wouldn't somebody know? Who in the world would be Maddie Soto today if her identity, if everything wasn't taken away from her 8, 9 years old? Your whole life changes when that happens. It has to. It has to. What you never thought about knowing, all of a sudden you know. And you think it's dirty and shameful. And how do you tell people? How do you explain it? How do you understand it in your own 13-year-old, 12-year-old, 11, 10, 9-year-old mind? Maddie Soto came from 2 parents that obviously had no concept of time, and I guess that they would be a parent at a later date. That wasn't meant to happen because Maddie didn't make it past her 13th year just by 4 days. She was a beautiful girl. She had a great smile that must have been hiding some horrific things that must have been so confusing. She had told somebody that she was going to live out in the woods. She told somebody else that Stefan was weird and awkward. But you wonder if she was saying that to throw things off, because then she would cancel plans with friends to go do things with Stefan in his 30s. She was 13 when she passed by him. Supposedly by him. He's sitting in prison now eating root beer barrels. That's what his parents are sending him. Maddie's being remembered by everybody except her family, it appears. Everybody found excuses. This got lost. Nobody got to know who Maddie was. What did she think? How did she cope? There is no story about this child and what she liked, except that she liked to call Stefan stinky, apparently. How did she become like a wife almost? How does her mom not be held accountable for this? How does so much responsibility go on a child? A child. Stefan Stearns is writing love letters to her, poetry to her. He had her body in the car with him, driving around. Was there some sort of love affair that went south? Was she pregnant and they had to end it? The trial's coming up in July, and the MUR-DER trial, I believe, is in September. But Stefan's asking for delays. Of course, of course. I don't know who Maddie Soto is, but I know Maddie's face represents a bunch of faces out there. But Maddie Soto was somebody. She was somebody, and God knows who she could have been, what she could have achieved, what her hopes and dreams were, and what they would have been had they have not come across Stefan Stearns. Had Jen Soto not been her mom, had she been better protected, had her dad not waited for her to be more responsible and more independent before he spent time with her. We have to heed this. We have to know this. We can't take time for granted, and we can't take people for granted. Stefan Stearns was a predator. Jen Soto made it easy. Maddie Soto is not here anymore. This is Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddie One Skip. Everybody does have a story to tell, but nobody takes the time to listen until now. Thanks, guys. Bing, boing, bing. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddie One Skip.